And typically we spend 1 to 2% of the price of a home on getting it ready to sell. I just had a gentleman. It's funny. He couldn't get rid of a tenant. We finally got rid of him. When I started talking to him a year ago, the house was $270. Well, we're $330 now.
Right.
So it's one of my listings today, or $322. So it's a great starter home in St. Cloud. And I've got that 3.2, 1,600 square feet for $322.9. And
what is starter home?
Fresh paint.
Come on, guys. You can get qualified with me.
Roof was done,
today.
AC was done. Yeah, that's a great price. You can't. I would buy that one, but Brenda would shoot me because we got too many in our Leapfrog program right now.
Yeah. So. Well, listen, call Cleve at 407-352-8118 and call me to get your loan set so that he accepts your offer when he's entertaining offers.
How's your Hometown Heroes program going?
I'll tell you what, it's killing it. So I'm loving helping heroes, okay? There has not been a state-funded or federally funded program for heroes in probably 15 to 20 years that I can recall. Now, you have teachers, you have law enforcement, first responders, you have healthcare workers, all that are qualifying for Hometown Heroes. You can get up to $25,000 toward your closing costs and your down payment and your escrows. Now, we're combining that with some other incentives that Cleve and I are doing to be able to help give even more money back to the buyer out of real estate commissions. Now, I'm going to tell you something. There is absolutely no reason for you not to buy a home right now if you are a first responder. Now, this is for first-time home buyers, right?
Yep.
Which in our world, a first-time home buyer is not really even a first-time home buyer. It's somebody that has not owned a home or a primary residence in the last 3 years. So you could have owned possibly an investment property. Maybe and if you're a veteran, you're exempt from the first-time home buyer thing. You can't buy a non-primary residence on the Hometown Heroes, but you can get another home, and if you owned a home or you just sold it, you can still qualify again. So now with a veteran, think about this. Veteran and USDA are both zero down payment loans, right? Yeah. So you have no down payment. So you can buy a $515,000 house and get $25,000 in government cheese money, okay? Yep. So now, and you have no money down. That covers all your closing costs, probably gives you a ton of money to buy down the rate, right?
Yeah.
It's just, or buy down the loan. It's huge. So why wait? If you want to get qualified to buy a home, don't call and cry about the rate. Everybody's crying about rates right now. I'm crying about rates right now. But we were going to refinance you. Later we'll refinance you. But don't rent. Rent is 100% interest only. You're making the landlord rich. And I love you if you're renting from me, but I'm trying to help you not
I'd rather
rent.
see you build some wealth. How much time we got?
We got about 3 and a half minutes left. But Cleve, give your number out for me one more time,
407-352-8118 or go to lovelandreport.com.
Yeah, or call the Loan Arranger. Get your mortgage all set up. I am a direct lender. I'm in all 50 states. There is no middleman. Your rates are unbelievable with me. I have every loan program you could possibly think of. And I think that my team and my branch here have the best service of any mortgage company I've ever seen. And I know that because of my Google reviews, my Yelp reviews, my Zillow reviews. They tell the story. Check me out. Check me out on YouTube. You call me, you will get an appointment with me. You actually get a return phone call. Like I call people on Mondays from our shows where I have loan officers on call on the weekend, but they'll call me and go, well, yeah, is the Loan Arranger going to call me? And I'm like, this is me. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it's just me. I'm really nobody special.
Like
believe me.
I run a tight team and I go on to most of my listing appointments and I know what's going on in the market, but I also have a team in my office so I can go back and talk to that seller every two to 3 weeks on what's happening. If you didn't sell, who did? Giving them a market review and saying, here's the houses you like. How do we want to proceed? And what's going on with the feedback? What's happening? It's going to be really important. If you get 5 realtors to a house, what'd they think?
Sure.
And what
you need that feedback.
You need that feedback. Did you find out they bought something down the street because it was bigger, better price, all those things? But if you need help, give me a call, 407-352-8118.
Yeah, and we've got some classes coming up. We're doing a a real estate class that is not just first-time home buyers, but we will also be covering our Leapfrog program, and that is going to be on August the 17th. Now, listen, the venue I'm changing because I love the Outback, but we had an outdoor venue, and I swear it was 497 degrees in there, and I'm not doing it there anymore. So I'm looking for a venue that Cleve and I can do some events for somewhere around the Winter Park area that will buy the food. We need the venue for free. All right. That way we're not charging exorbitant rates for people to get into these seminars. So if you know something, let me know. I am absolutely interested. 407-250-91. I'm giving half of my number in half years. 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. And Cleve Loveland can always be reached at his amazing team
at 407-352-8118.
We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the LoanArranger Show with Cleve Loveland and Bruce Woodburn. The LoanArranger. Stay tuned. I got some juicy stuff for you. It's going to really encourage you to buy when we come back.
We are back on the longest running radio real estate show and mortgage show in the history of the universe. Cleve Loveland and the LoanArranger here, giving you all of your real estate news. News and needs. I've got great listings here. I've got a house. This is kind of a townhouse, but single story. Not, if you got somebody a little older, don't want to do stairs, or you want an open floor plan. I got a 3-2 for $297,000 in Lake of the Woods. Great little townhome community.
Oh, I love Lake of the Woods.
In the Fern
Park. Yeah.
You own it. It's not a condo. The fees are very low. The fees are only $227 a month on that for $297. I've got a starter home for $227, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, right on the edge of Ocoee in Orlando, 1,000 square feet with a carport, but enormous lot, quarter-acre lot for $227,500. A lot of people looking at that. That probably, that won't last long.
So give me the price on that one again.
$227,500.
And it's a 3-2?
Yep, 1,000 square feet. So
wow.
Good shape, all tile, no carpet, big yard. The yard enormous.
And what location is that?
That's right on the edge of Ocoee in Orlando, off Clarkona Ocoee Road.
What an that's it right there?
Yep.
That's an adorable house.
You're looking, it's one over here. This one's for $575.
Oh.
This is Lester Ridge in Apopka. 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 3,100 square feet for $575. Lots of features and upgrades inside this one. Dedicated home office. You got 5 bedrooms plus a loft, plus a formal living and dining room, open concept plan. The master is downstairs in this home. Lester Ridge, a great community on the edge of Apopka. Got a great, enormous master bedroom, master bath, like a spa inside there for $575. I've got commercial land in Cocoa for $265,000. Give me a call if you want to take a look at any of these, or if you're thinking about getting your home on the market, you want to know what your next steps are, give me a buzz, 407-352-8118, 352-8118. Be happy to help you. All right, that's good. We finally got that toilet flushing button under control. You know what you're going. You got it labeled here, right?
It's so funny because, I operate a lot of the buttons here for crazy sound effects and just so we can have a good time on the show. But sometimes I just don't get it right. And Cleve will say something and get the toilet flushed there. And then you get calls from your clients going, you got to get this Woodburn guy under control.
We got to get a radio producer, a full-time producer in here.
Yeah.
So, right. But anyway, what's going on with, are you seeing your buyer traffic come down? I know your refi traffic's down, obviously.
Well, refi traffic's down, but I would have thought it would have been non-existent, but it's not non-existent because here's the people we're helping. We can still consolidate debt.
Yep.
Okay. Divorce situations, you have to refi.
Yep.
Okay. So unfortunately, those are the cases. But there are cases where people may have to get out of a balloon note. What I'm not doing and what I'm not advising you to do out there with me or anyone else is to call to refi to get out of PMI right now. I'm going to get you out of your PMI when rates drop back down to 4.5%. Then we'll get out of PMI. Okay. So don't do that. Don't do it to you're not going to drop your rate right now. So don't do a refinance for that. But here's the market right now for mortgages in the United States is down some 30%. I'm down about 12%. That's it. 12%. I looked at my numbers. I'm down about 12%, But that's expected because I was expecting to be down even more than that with refinances being gone or essentially gone, and I'm not. And here's the people that are buying. I'm going to tell you, I'm still getting move-up buyers, and I'm still getting some first-time home buyers.
Well, this is what's fueled by people. They've got equity. There's still equity out there, and prices are rising. If they bought 3-4 years ago, they've got a good chunk of equity put down on that new home.
Right.
So, and then families change. They get bigger, they get smaller.
People are moving to Florida, and they don't want to rent.
And that's the other part of it. People coming to the state, but we've also got Floridians coming to Central Florida, Bruce. And that's why it's funny. I see these national headlines, and we always run behind them. Like when the rest of the country starts to slow down, we slow down later. And we also speed up faster, too. We've got a more vibrant economy. So call me at 407-352-8118 for all of your real estate needs.
Yep, or call the Loan Arranger to get pre-qualified or pre-approved. You can go to my website at webringyouhome.com or call me right now or text me at 407-250-9144. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Radio Show. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Show. Thank you for joining us in this segment, and we're giving you all of your real estate news. It is still good, despite the gloom and doom headlines you'll see with just about everything. When you go outside, you pump gas in your car, you're like, what the heck? And then you go to the grocery store, you're like, what the heck? The bill's higher than it usually is. Interest rates are higher, but hey, the price on your home is going up too. There's a little silver lining there.
Well, you know what, when I look at that, Cleve, it's interesting that you say that. So, look, if you ask anybody, how's your stocks doing right now? I'm down 14%, okay? Everybody's down in the stock market. What's up? Housing is up.
Yep.
Housing is up. So even in Central Florida, we're up about 15% for the year already. Now, I expect that by the end of the year, you're still going to have between a 5 and a 10% appreciation in 2020.
Oh, we will. I think we'll be around 10 to 15%.
I think you're right. I think you're right. So there is why you should be in real estate.
And here's what's also going to happen, Bruce. That median price and the average price, and if the average price in a market goes down 10% because a bunch of $1 million homes didn't sell, what's the media going to grab on? Home sales down 10%.
Right.
So you got to watch out for that. But it's and when sales slow a little bit, we will see they'll play with those numbers. And, and 75% of all stats are made up.
It's an illusion, and it's all it is the media trying to instill fear in people. And listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I think all media does it. Yeah. No matter what channel you're listening to.
They got so much competition. They're trying to keep you from switching the station or clicking the button.
Absolutely. Yep. Right. What's the saying go? If it
bleeds, it leads.
Right.
I learned that. I remember my show. I got preempted, and I was so mad. I got preempted by it was the Clinton impeachment. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, this is my show. I'm like, Bill Clinton's impeached a little more important than you. I'm like, okay. And then the guy goes, hey, if it bleeds, it leads. Remember that news is always going to beat you out. So we give you all your real estate news.
So we don't do that here. We're going to give you the good, bad, and the ugly.
This is the actual stats and what's happening, but this is why you and I have jobs, because everybody's credit's different. Everybody's income's different. Everybody's situation they need to meet is different. I go to somebody's house, they might not need to sell now, and they might work from home and have 3 Rottweilers. I'm going to help them work out how we can get the home sold. Everything is different. That's why there probably is an app for real estate or a book you could read, but you need a realtor to help you out.
Well, and let's just put things in perspective. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Rates are up. Fed raised the Fed rate up again this week. Probably going to do it again, and it's going to keep happening until inflation starts to curb and go the other direction. And really, why do they do that? They're trying to disrupt the market. That's what's causing inflation, right? So the whole purpose of raising interest rates is to disrupt the market.
Yeah.
So it puts us into a worse situation.
Yeah, slows things down a little bit.
Slows things down a little bit. So, and that's the intent of what the Fed is trying to do. Now, so if your 401k and your stocks are all losing money right now, okay, and I'm not saying sell your stocks. We diversify, don't we? Mm-hmm. And we believe in diversification. But real estate is still up. It's still up. Now, people may say, oh, real estate's coming down. No, real estate is not coming down. The sales price and the asking prices have retracted a little bit because they were at too high of a pace.
Well, this is what people got to learn to watch, and this is why half the realtors out there don't know how to price a listing. And you've got to look at who actually closed and walked away from the table. That's the market value you base your price on, not what the guy down the street has been on the market for 180 days, who's at $699 when all the homes in the neighborhood are selling for $550.
Sure.
So you got to watch out for that. So,
Yeah.
but I want to ask you, Bruce, a question.
Yeah.
I've got a new development here. Great new homes, Lake Apopka Sound and Winter Garden. These are beautiful houses starting in the mid fives to high fives. They got some lakefronts for $1 million on Lake Apopka, over $1 million. But that builder, when you go into a new home builder, they want you to use their lender. And should that be shopped?
Absolutely, it should be shopped because they're generally not the best rate. And secondly is they are going to make promises that they can't deliver on. And they'll do that because they know if it's not an inventory production home, they can tease you and go, oh yeah, we're at, XYZ mortgage company that we are owned by the builder, and we will give you a quote, but when it comes down to locking it in, since your house won't be ready for 10 months,
Yep.
the whole thing changes.
Yep.
But they coerce you or extort you into using their title company and their mortgage company by throwing closing cost incentives.
Yep.
So here's what I'm going to tell you to do right now. If you're out there and you're looking at new construction, you tell them that you want to use the loan arranger, and they have to still pay the closing cost incentive, and then you're going to have a win-win. And if you're a buyer and you use Cleve Loveland as your realtor, even on new construction, right? Mm-hmm. You help with people with new construction every day, right?
We're closing on 3 this week.
Right? So new construction, and with Cleve and I, we're helping out buyers through the end of the year by assisting you with some additional closing cost incentives that will really defray most of your closing cost anyway. So why be subject to that builder's lender? Shop it. Call me. Always check with me.
You also might be calling a call center in Idaho or something.
Well, you very well could be. But
very important. But builders have some deals out there right now. It's funny that when they didn't need realtors the past couple of years as much. So now I'm getting all kinds of calls to come out and see this and come out and see that. We've got all kinds of special incentives for your buyers. But new construction is great because you know what you're getting, and you can lock in a price now. By the time that home is finished, it's going to be up. So
For sure.
The trouble is sometimes they cannot tell you what's our completion date. I think they've worked out most of their supply issues, and what they're doing now is telling you, all right, it's going to be 6 to 9 months, or they're not releasing the homes until they're like 1/3 done, and they kind of know the rest of the process. They're getting that process down. So it's going to ease up, and we'll get better. But, all the people buying houses now, if you're not going to sell them in the next year, I think you're going to be okay.
Oh, I think
prices are going to keep rising. Rents aren't going to plummet back down. Rents
are not going to plummet.
Speaking of rents right now, we manage a bunch of properties that help a bunch of investors with their retirement planning, and we help them on their rents. I am raising rents up, and we are getting, if the tenants don't like it, I tell them, hey, go look around, check it out. Most of them are going, okay, we'll do it, because they can't go anywhere else. Now, you want to give a good tenant a good deal, but you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot.
No.
I had somebody bring me a listing last week. Brother-in-law in the house paying $900 a month, should have been about $1,900 a month on this small house. And it's but they can't, and then they asked them to move out 6 months ago, and they still haven't done it.
Right.
And because of bad blood, they don't want bad blood in the family. So anyway, 407-352-8118. If you need help managing property, you hear somebody tell you a nightmare story about a rental, have them call me or email me at lovelandreport.com.
Yep, and phone number?
407-352-8118.
Yep, and if you have questions for the loan arranger, you'd like to get qualified to buy a mortgage or buy a house, and you need a mortgage, I have every loan program you could possibly think of. Now, we were talking about builders. What about custom and semi-custom builders? What about buying or building a home on your own lot, or finding a lot and building your own custom home? I have a whole bunch of builders throughout Central Florida that will do a custom or semi-custom home for you on your own lot. I have the best construction perms. I just brought on a conventional construction perm with only 5% down. How do you like that? 5% down, construction perm, conventional loan. 5%.
Was that your mega jumbo?
No.
No? Okay, don't have that yet? All right, working on that. All right.
Nope. So that is a conventional construction perm. Most are 20% down. I had 10. I just introduced a 5% down.
That's awesome.
Now, I have FHA 3.5% down construction perm loans. Now, everybody's got an FHA, regular FHA, construction to perm. VA
That's
construction
unheard
to perm.
That's what I love about
no
CrossCountry.
money down.
You've
I
got-
know,
you've
no
got the
kidding,
products,
right?
yep.
No money down
Yep.
to 647.
You remind me of that guy you'd see in the old movies, and he'd come over and he'd open up his raincoat, and there's like 50 watches hanging on the inside of it. That's what you've got with these loan products. You've got one for everybody.
I got one.
Also, I got some articles here about saving money on your taxes and stuff like that. What about the people that have their accountant's got a really sharp pencil? They're self-employed. You still got your bank statement loans?
Absolutely. I'm doing a bunch of bank statement loans right now. I'm doing a little bit of hard money loans. There's all kinds of products that I'm doing. Rehab loans we're doing. If you have questions, call me. I'm the Loan Arranger. I'm local. I'm here for you. I've got a great team. We'll answer your questions. There's no hard selling here at all. We will provide you with all the tools you need to make the right decision. My personal phone number, now this is not my office number. This is my number, 407-250-9144. Just pull out your flip phone and save me in there right now, 407-250-9144 for the Loan Arranger, or go to my website at webringyouhome.com. That's webringyouhome.com. So, I've told you, Cleve, that I've been having this issue with my throat, and I've been hoarse on the air, and
So you're
sometimes
supposed to kind of control your breathing.
So
and speak a
apparently
little
I have
softer.
these nodules on my voice box
Yep.
that I have to go to some voice therapy now, like if I was a singer or something, to try to get rid of these nodules.
I've heard you sing. You actually surprised me one night. I didn't know you played the guitar. and you were
I
singing. You
used to
actually-
be a good singer. I cannot sing any longer. But anyways, don't call the Loan Arranger and ask me to sing a song. Now, it depends on what size mortgage you might need. Maybe I'll sing a tune for you.
Yep.
I do sing Happy Birthday.
How much time we
regularly. We've got about we got about 4 minutes.
Okay. One thing I'm seeing out there, Bruce, it's funny. It's still happening. The iBuyers, the people, I'll give you cash for your house right now. Just don't worry about putting it on the market. Don't worry about cleanup. Don't worry about repairs. What are you giving up? On average, I'm seeing all
Money.
these stats come in. You're giving up about 20 to 25% of your equity. Right. There's still fees involved. They're still preaching. I mean, most of my sellers are like,
their commercials sound very convincing.
oh, well, that's a lot of marketing. How do you think they're making all that money to have that $1 million marketing budget? They're ripping people off and using that money for marketing, or it just amazes me. When I sit down with a client, I want what's best for them. And there's a relationship between time and money, but that's a bit extreme.
Sure.
I like to be a fiduciary where I'm working to get the best possible outcome for my client, a seller's agent, and I want to make sure they get what they need on when they're selling and advise them on what top dollar is. And there are times where I say, hey, look, this person will close quicker, but they'd like a little bit of money off, like a couple $1,000. And if that works out, fine. But there's other times when, they're talking about, well, we want new AC systems. Well, I'm sorry, servicing that AC system is about $500. We'll do that, but we're not giving you $7,000. Right. Things like that come up, and that's my job to help sellers make as much as possible and meet their real estate goals. These iBuyers are they're about fleecing you.
Right.
They are.
They are.
People just don't know. They think
when
it's
we
convenient.
were referring to iBuyers, it's these companies you're seeing all over TV that you don't need to have anybody come through your house. We'll buy it. We can close in 28 days, but they're going to pay you. And you think about this. You work hard for your money, right? Why would you even take a 10% haircut on your house at $400,000? It's $40,000. Who cares if a couple people come through your house? I mean, the market's still red hot. You're going to sell your house fast anyway. You might not have 20 buyers knocking on your door, but you'll have 2 or 3 right now, right? Yep. Right? So get the most for your. We talk to you about how to make money in real estate. Why make money in real estate and then give it away to one of these hedge funds? Because these companies are hedge fund operated, right? They're hedge fund funded. Hedge funds.
They've got shareholders that they've got I think most of them do, they've got a duty to make money for them on Wall Street. And if they give you market value for their home, they're not making money on Wall Street. They lost money for their clients, for their shareholders. So just be careful on that. Call them and call me. You're going to be pleasantly surprised. 407-352-8118 for Cleve, Loveland.
Yeah, or Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Arranger, 407-250-9144, 407-250-9144, or webringyouhome.com. We've been talking about hometown heroes for all of our heroes out there, police, fire department, EMTs, teachers, healthcare workers, nurses, all kinds of medical professionals, even correctional officers, up to $25,000 in money. Add that to our rebate program that we're offering right now, and there is no reason for you to continue to rent. Listen, as Cleve and I have been saying for years, there's no such thing as a rich renter. Even if interest rates are high, do what you can to get qualified. My team and I are here committed. And even if you call me and you don't qualify right now, we will paint a picture, a roadmap, so that you become a homeowner. We have to get you out of renting. Rent is going to continue to rise. There's a shortage of rental properties. And I'm going to tell you something, rent control ain't going to do the job. It will actually make it worse. And rent control is a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, right? 30-year fixed rate mortgage.
Yep.
Cleve, give us your number.
407-352-8118.
Yep, or lovelandreport.com, or you can contact the Loan Arranger at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. We will be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger radio show. Stay tuned for the last segment.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Loveland Report and the Loan Arranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland alongside Bruce Woodburn. And I guess, would that make me Tonto?
I think
that might make me Tonto. All right. Thank you for tuning in today to all the news we've given you on real estate and mortgages, and tuning in to find out where rates are at, what's going on in the market. I wanted to ask you one final segment here, Bruce. What I'm seeing happen now on the high end of properties, we're talking above $1 million, luxury, mega luxury, above $1.5 million. It's just, there's a lot more room for negotiating on things like that now, and because people aren't getting offers like the first 48 hours they're on the market. How is financing running on those? Are jumbo rates higher too?
No, jumbo rates are actually very attractive. They can be as attractive, even more attractive, if you are a premium buyer in the jumbo market, meaning you're putting down 20% or more. You've got lots of reserves. Then your interest rates could be as much as a quarter point better than a conventional rate. So they are attractive.
And jumbo, what's the jumbo limit now? 650?
647 and some change.
So buying above 800-900 probably.
Yeah,
where
I start to see when you're above $800,000, you're probably into jumbo money. But I've got $800,000 buyers that can still stay within that 640 limit, right?
Yeah,
they put down $150,000.
We just had a $2 million buyer, got a great deal on a house. House had been on the market for over 90 days. They'd adjusted the price slightly once and came in with a great buy, got all the closing costs paid. And do you still have, what I want to ask you is, this buyer will probably be calling you, what do you still have, the 5% down or 10% down?
I can go up 5% down to $1,750,000 and 3% down to $1,500,000 on a jumbo with no PMI. Now, again, those programs are amazing. They're unbelievable for people that want to keep their money in the market, but they're not for people that don't have the money. So in other words, you have to have substantial reserves. You got to have reserves. You can't say I'm scraping together 3% to buy a $2 million house and get the loan.
Empty your savings.
It's not going to work like that.
But wait, I saw a seminar. We're going to Airbnb each of the bedrooms. I'm going to make $10,000 a week, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But listen, all those programs I've got, and keep in mind, I'm a direct lender. I'm not a mortgage broker. Can I broker? On occasion, I'll broker some loans, but I'm even doing foreign national bank statement programs, jumbos, super jumbos. I'll go up to $5 million on a jumbo. I mean, not many mortgage companies will go above $1.5 million or $2 million. I will have no problem with doing that. We underwrite, we originate, we fund, and many times we're even servicing your loan post-closing. If you're a real estate agent, stop dealing with these turkeys that you're referring your clients to and putting all of your commission at risk. Why would you do that? Why don't you come and work with a mortgage professional that takes his job and your commission seriously? That's what we do at CrossCountry Mortgage. You can reach me personally at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. I am teaching a class to real estate agents that will be in August, on August the 5th. And it is helping realtors understand mortgages and what the ingredients of a mortgage is and understanding FHA and VA and USDA and PMI and down payment assistance so that my realtors out there or a new realtor does not get caught having a client know more about financing than they do. You don't have to be a mortgage expert, but you can't be ignorant when it comes to financing.
Well, I sit down with sellers all the time, and they'll say they've talked to some other realtors, and I say, well, anybody do a net sheet for you that shows you what you're going to walk away with so you know what you can buy? They're like, what? I'm like, no, we discussed their fee, but they didn't show me all the costs to close. And I'll go through that with them and say, all right, and go get your mortgage balance. What's your exact mortgage balance? We'll figure that out too. All these different things, because it's just plug in the numbers.
You don't want to be caught ignorant. I had a realtor call me this week that had a listing. I've got a buyer that wants their condo. They didn't know that the condo complex did not qualify for conventional or FHA.
Yeah.
They didn't know that before they even listed it.
So it's got to be hard money?
Why? Well, it may be some alternative financing, and I might even be able to pull it off conventionally anyway, but you have to know what you have.
Yeah.
It's like having a property that's USDA and not knowing that it's USDA qualified. Hey, we're running out of time. Cleve, give your number real quick.
Thanks, Bruce. Thanks for tuning in today. Loveland Properties, 407-352-8118. Have a great week.
Yep, or the Loan Arranger at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. God bless.